Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream.
And what you frowning for is my deed. Better let's talk about it. Oh, better let's talk about it. What's eating you up? Or you got some baby mama issues you're dealing with? Better let's talk about it. You're 2-year-old in knitting shoes and you don't know where your next meal's coming from. Better let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about sex, let's talk about God, let's talk about you. Brother, let's talk about it. Cause we all need a shoulder to lean on in adversity is mine. Come on, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about me. Brother, let's talk about it. Brother, let's talk about it. I know sometimes life can get fuzzy and the future's so blurry, you can talk about it. Sometimes all you need is some listening ears, someone to brag on to. Here I am. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about all the things you really want to rap about. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about food, let's talk about sex, let's talk about me, let's talk about God, let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Oh, oh,
Hello, everyone.
Let's talk about life, let's talk about food, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about her, let's talk about it. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it.
It's a great day, great moment to be alive. Today we'll be talking about what kind of women get married. This is our very second live stream. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Adefola Gumbiade, and I'll be your host today.
What you frowning for is my need. Brother, let's talk about it. Oh, brother, let's talk about it. What's eating you up? Or you got some baby mama issues you're dealing with? Brother, let's talk about it. You're 2-year-old in hidden shoes, and you don't know where your next meal's coming from. Brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about sex, let's talk about God, let's talk about you. Brother, let's talk about it. Cause we all need a shoulder to lean on in adversity. Here's mine. Come on, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about me. Brother, let's talk about it. Brother, let's talk about it. I know sometimes life can get fuzzy and the future so blurry. You can talk about it. Sometimes all you need is some listening ears, someone to brag on to. Here I am. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about all the things you really want to rap about. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about food, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about her, let's talk about it. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it.
With anybody.
Meet everyone. Hello, everybody. My name is Adif Olami Agumbiadi, and today co-hosting with me is Osato. So we're talking about we're talking about, the kind of women that get married, right? That's the theme of the show. This is a very, very second live stream on YouTube, so we're still working out the bugs. But for those of you who've been with us, who've been on this journey with us, who have followed us on the show, it's a good opportunity to have you here. So let's just have your thoughts. You can leave your comments in the chat and enjoy the conversation. So the next voice you'll be hearing is Sato. Sato, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everybody. My name is Osato. You're welcome to our live stream. Is it showing? I didn't hear. It's looking for you. Yes.
It's not a funny.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's live already.
Has anybody started watching? How many?
One person so far. You can just remote.
He's the one that turned it on. No?
Yeah.
Welcome to our live stream. Why?
You want to show like this? Come on. I muted the video. You have 20 minutes.
Okay. It must not be a personal story now. Okay. I'm going to share a friend story. So, first off, how was the Valentine like last Wednesday? How was it? Me, I didn't get any gift, but um, I made sure I had a good time. Actually, I made sure I had a good time. So, I'm going to talk about my friend, her story, and I think I'm allowed to share it. Okay. Um, where do I start from? So, it's a love story. So I just want to like impute your. I just want to share it and see. Like, okay, she she
Keep getting your love story.
no, I'm sharing my friend's story. Except, okay, there is space. I'm back.
Come on.
Okay, we're back.
Alright.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, you're on the screen now. You just appear.
I'm on the screen.
On the screen, you can join, you can pull a chair up and join our conversation.
Anything. Anything.
We're talking about the kind of men,
The kind of men.
women that married. I don't mind.
Okay. The kind of women who get married. Okay, we're talking about the kind of women who get married. So relating to this story, I'm going to drop a personal story about my friend. Okay, she has been she was dating a guy. She was dating a guy, I think 5 years max. They were dating. And he told her, I think before she entered the relationship, he told her that he had another girlfriend, but she was not in Nigeria. She was outside the country. And I think she accepted. She still wanted to be in the relationship, obviously for other reasons. He had money. He had money, and he, according to her, he took care of her the way she wanted. He loved her. He loved her the way she wanted. So she entered the relationship, and things went on smoothly for like, I think the first 2 years, it was great. Then the lady outside the country, she wanted to come back to Nigeria, and he told my friend that, okay, my serious girlfriend is coming back and we have to end things and all. She almost took her life because she was always crying, saying she just felt down. She entered into depression and all. Then I think the lady did not come again. She didn't come, and he went back and begged my friend, and now because she loved the guy and all, and she went back to be with him. And I think they did 3 more years together. But the last year, that's the 5th year, he told her that he's no longer interested, that this time he wants to get married. He wants to get married, and he wants to get married to the lady outside the country. Oh my God, it was a lot for her. In fact, I did a lot of consoling. I became a therapist. I became her shoulder, anything at all, because I was always talking to her constantly. Sometimes she would even tell me, sometimes I want to drink sniper. I'm tired. But I always encourage her and tell her, like, don't worry, just chill. We are going to see another person. So relating it to this topic, the kind of women who get married. How am I going to put it now? There's already a selection pool of women who get married, but we're not talking about the men. They are the ones that are supposed to decide who they want to get married to. But you see them, how will I put it? They have more than one woman in their life. And having two women, and later you get to choose one and the other person gets hurt, they don't care about it actually. So that's why I feel like a lot of women, this is my personal opinion, a lot of women, they just want to be alone and be by themselves. They don't want any man drama. They don't want any situation where they'll be disappointed later and all. You understand? Oh. Okay. All right. So ah, okay. Let me go back to the story. Sorry, let me go back to the story. So now she's over it. She left where she was residing and she changed states because she just went to like move on and all. And she told me that he's calling me back. Osato is calling me, but he's married though. Let's not forget that because he got married to the lady. Well, now she's telling me that he's calling me back. I don't know what to do, and I'm like, you don't know what to do? What? Leave him alone. He's married. Okay, and I think that one got into her head, and she just stopped. So now his new approach to her is him always sending her money. Sometimes she'll just wake up and she'll see alerts and he's from the guy, you understand? Because he wants her. And you know now, they will always say women loves money. Now women likes money. But so he wants to use that what's the word? My story. I should share another one. But would they hear? Okay, so joining me currently is Juliet. Why did you say Juliet? You don't want me to say Ozioma. But is Ozioma not your name?
Ozioma is my name.
And so why?
If people call me by my native name, it gives me this person really knows me.
So people that are calling me Osatoka.
Okay.
We should be able to use this too. I think he's here now. Is she there now? Okay. All right.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this. Okay, Juliet. According to today's like topic and all, we're talking about women and how like the kind of women who get married. I don't know why it is. The kind of women who get married. Do you understand?
Okay.
And there's like an article table. I'm coming. I need to find it. System. So sorry. It's not blowing anymore.
Okay.
No, I don't remove it. This is not the particular one I want. Hey. Yes, move it. Move it.
Let me know when it's done.
Yes. Okay, what kind of women get married? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, you're bringing her. Okay. So I'm going to read something and you're going to like give me your opinion about it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand? So first one is women with a large number of female friends are more likely to marry than women with a large number of male friends. Do you understand?
Females with large number of
Female friends, yes.
they're more likely to get married than females with a large number of
Male friends, yes.
Why?
You don't accept that.
I don't think.
Why?
I think the ones with large number of male friends,
Mm-hmm.
they are most likely to.
You think so?
Yes, I think so.
Should I tell you why?
Tell
You
me
know,
why.
female friends they have guys that are their friends, and sorry, they have guys that they are friends, and they'll want to introduce their female friends to like their male friends. But male friends probably how will I put it? Probably they are like they like the person and they will not want to they won't want to
that
share
kind of
the information exactly. Okay. They won't want to share that information with another person. Do you understand? So that's it. But you're valid though, because currently in Nigeria, many girls that will not want to share their male friends because because you know now.
Some people they want to like share them with their family members first. You know, it should be inside the
Family members.
Should be
They want
within.
them for themselves. Some
no, if they have one already and they have like extra
one. That's why I wanted you to
Extra.
say that extra. Well, you know you can't keep all your eggs in one basket. Actually,
then you also can eat your cake and have it too.
please.
You can't.
Let me hear a word. Okay. Okay. The second one is, if you reach 30 and you want to get married, you have to make finding a husband a primary goal. Do you accept that?
Primary goal.
Yeah. Like,
Then that will not make you desperate and anything goes. Yes.
does it make you look desperate? It doesn't
That's,
now.
when you say primary goal, like that's like the main thing. In fact, every other thing is secondary.
Yes,
not
now.
important.
They want to make a family. They
Then
want.
that means you're desperate at that point.
It's not being desperate. It's how will I put it? It's not being desperate. They just want to have a family. And do you know the funny thing? Many of their friends are already married, so they're already lonely. The pressure, exactly. Their family members, even people that are not even up to 30, their parents are already asking them, "When are you bringing a man home?" For ladies, though, when are you bringing a man home? When are you bringing a man home? So, what do you expect from them?
I just think generally they should stop this whole, making others feel like, okay, if you've not gotten married, then that's the end of life for you. They just have to stop it. Seriously. I think everyone with their time. It's all about timing. Some people go after career and then later they relax and say, okay, now I want to settle down. And some people, they want to settle down and then later career. So I think everybody has. The thing is, fine, everybody must get married. But
Not everybody must get married.
pressure-
Not everybody wants to get married.
Well, at least following, the society we are in,
Mm-hmm.
you must get married. Your parents are there. Even if your friends are not saying anything, you yourself, you're not feeling anything. Your parents will come one day, will call you and they'll be like, even if they don't call you, they'll be like, when are you bringing a man? You won't tell me no one has asked you that question. When are you bringing a man home? Or is he the one? Is he the uncle? So that kind of thing is just to make like brings unnecessary thing. I don't know. And there are some ladies now they always fall into depression, and because of that, my friends are married. The parents will be like, look at your friend of the other day, she's married. What about you? Do you have two heads?
But you know that these particular parents that are saying these things, they are the ones that like locked these girls in the house. They'll say, "I'm telling you." Then later you not stop. But it's life, sha.
They'll tell you, okay. They'll tell you bring your husband. But while you're in school, they expect you to, play the change the version.
They don't know this generation. Probably they think that the husband just fall from the sky
No,
and
they'll matchmake.
matchmake with him.
Yeah, they have one uncle in the village that has a son abroad in Europe. So maybe when the son comes home for December, they just might make both of you, and then that one travels back and just look at home.
Distance marriage or what?
Yes, it happens.
I don't even. There's one of my. Okay, she's not my friend. She's my stylist. She was dating somebody, and I think she was older than the guy, but she was hiding it. She didn't want us to know that she was older.
Hiding.
Yeah, she didn't want us
Okay,
to know
the
that.
age stuff.
Yeah, she didn't want us to know that she was. I think they dated for like, I don't know. I have friends that used to date boys for like 5 years without anything. No, God. Okay, she was dating this boy from 100 level till final year. Then I think he was already like ahead of her in school and all these things. So he was already serving as at that time. Then he came to Lagos. She was always leaving Benin to Lagos to come and every time. There was even one time I gave her my dress to sew. She did not sew it.
Left the clothes.
That morning I went to her house. I said, today me and you, I sat down, she sat down, I said, you sew this thing before you go. She was always giving the boy all her attention and everything. And should I say she was obsessed? But she was always going to meet him and all. But we are friends, we knew that it was not going anywhere because the boy obviously we want a younger girl. Me personally, I don't support like the girl being older. It's giving sugar mommy vibes because obviously when he sees somebody younger, he will want to he will leave. He will leave, and I don't want that. I've been in that situation before where he said he likes me, but he's young. How will I put it? He's financially stable, but he's financially stable and everything. No, but because I am older with him with months, I said I am not interested because I know that if he sees somebody younger, he's going to leave me, and I did not want.
You guys have a misunderstanding. I feel like, is it because you're older than me?
Exactly, all those things. I did not even want insults in general. So I just sorry, baby, I can't do I can't do this with you, please. So back to her. Then, I think during the final year, no, not even final year, I think we graduated and when we were doing our clearance, I heard that she had broken up with the other guy, or rather, the other guy had left her. I don't know what happened between them, so I can't say for now, Sha. Yeah, I can't say for now. Then, before you know, 2 months later, I heard that she's getting married, and I'm like, how?
To the same guy, though.
No, they're already broken up and she's getting married, and I'm like, what happened? How come? Then a friend told me that she met a guy on TikTok.
On TikTok.
On TikTok. He's not a Nigerian. I think he's from Gambia or something. I can't remember the country, but he stays in London. I think so. He came. He proposed to her online. Proposed to her online. He came down to Nigeria. I think he's the only one that even came. Nobody from his family came. But they did a wedding, funny enough.
Only him.
Yes.
They did the wedding.
I'm telling you.
What did the family say? Family of the
At first, I heard that because my friend went for the wedding. I heard that the family did not agree at first, but I think she begged and she was like, she loves him and everything. Now.
There was money.
And she was, should I say she's 27 now, 28. So I felt like she was thinking of her age too. She was thinking because, now, before she clocks 30, she wants to get married and mates are getting married. And, she had already wasted her time with that small boy before. Yes, now. I'll call him a small boy. She had already wasted her time with that small boy. So she got married to this particular guy. Do you know the funny thing? He left. He's in London now and she's in Nigeria.
So that's the way they're married.
That's the thing. So I'm confused. Come waiting.
Or planning to take her. Maybe he's planning to take her. You don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not there.
But then
I won't do that actually because it brings a lot of. I don't even want to start, but that's the story for that. I can't say more than that, Sha. You were eager to get married. Now you're finally married, and the man is not there.
You're not married. You're married, but you're not married.
Do you get it? So it's crazy actually. So let's go back to what we're reading.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is women who get married, even those with high-powered careers, make getting married a priority than they work at. Women who get married, even those with high-powered careers, make getting married a priority than what they are working at.
Probably because of their age. So
It's still like the first one we
The
read.
age quiet.
This one is funny, but let me read it. The larger the number of single men and women you work with, the better your chances of marrying. How true is that? The larger the number of single men and women you work with, the better your chances of marrying. How true is that?
No, single.
Yes.
Not in a situationship
Where you are working.
Single. You're working.
Uh.
Some people date like they're
Please, I don't advise that actually.
they might work in the same place but not in the same office. Except you're looking at a small.
You know some organizations,
small organization.
once you know some organizations, they'll be like, okay, if both of you are going to get married, one person has to leave. One person has to leave. Do you
I
understand?
don't think
Have you not heard of that?
no. Because there are organizations that I've seen that both of them they're married and they're still there, just in different branches. Like,
Okay, you're hearing it from me now. Go and research about it.
why would they ask them to leave?
I don't know, it's their policy.
But I think these people they will know those policies before getting themselves involved in anything romantic.
In as much as dating your colleague is to work, I don't advise it, Sha. Osato don't advise it. I don't.
So it happens to you.
Please, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. No. I don't want that. There's a lot of finish and now. You will not concentrate too.
Why would you concentrate? That's if you're letting me get married. Yes, now.
Yes, now I'm in love with
But
somebody and it
before-
will not get to my head. I don't understand. No.
Then you
When I
have
love
to
somebody,
know,
I love the
like,
person 100%. So please.
Even though you guys are working in different organizations,
Mhm.
you have to separate your personal life and your work life. Yes, you have to balance it, or at least.
I mean, I cannot balance my own. Now.
Oh, so when it's lunchtime, you go to his office. You won't even wait till lunchtime. So when you're carrying out it,
No, I'm not going to say anything. Okay. 5, women with unrealistic expectations are often remain single. How true is that?
well, it's kind of true. Especially, we know what's going on now. We are in the K-drama era. So imagine expecting all the things that you watch there. Don't, except you want to lie. If you expect everything that happens there, you remain single for life, because it's not going to happen.
But these people are making it happen, so why will it not happen?
It's scripted. Very, very much scripted. So, and they act it. Do you know how many cut action has taken place before?
If
the
that's,
scene finished
I'm
today?
going to make my own love story a movie.
Okay.
Please.
Allow me be the director.
Please.
I'll cut you guys and
Don't worry. How true is this? Self-confident men are attracted to accomplished, self-assured, and talented women. Is it true? Self-confident men are attracted to accomplished and self-assured and talented women. Sorry. Self-confident men. They are attracted to career women, accomplished women, talented women. Do you think I want to ask, do you think like guys, do you think that they can love a lady that is not doing anything? That does not have any talent, she's not
Do
working.
that. In Nigeria economy now, I
Mhm.
think a man can afford that. At least you have to have something doing. Even if you don't have at the moment, you will suggest it at one point. And then, no, I have actually seen someone like that. One or two.
Let me hear the story.
Well, it's not like, okay, he asked this girl out. Then that was like, was it 5 years ago? I can't remember the exact year. So, the time he asked her out, she was actually learning skill. She was learning hairstyling stuff. So, when she was done, she just stopped. She didn't plan on doing anything. So he spoke to me. It was not like, look at what I'm planning for this girl. She just finished, and then she even there are no plans. She's not even talking about starting up something or doing something. And I was like, she already has the skill. He's just going to help her furnish his store and all that. That he has plans for her. That was the way he told me. I have plans for this girl. I like this girl. She's smart. And I was like, go for it. You are the kind of man that I want to be outside. Go for it. If you feel you can do it, nothing should stop you. And he's on his way. The project is like 60% as we speak. 60
Okay.
but it's not like one grand big establishment. Just small something for her to help her brush up her skills. If it's not steady.
For the ladies on the live stream, I advise that you get something doing
Yes,
actually
there's no guy
because
going to take you if you are a liability.
they see you as a liability and a lot of
So they won't
insults.
ask you what do you bring to the table.
A lot of insults come from there. So please find something doing, even if it's to sell pure water on the road. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But please find something doing if at all. Yeah.
There are lots of things you can actually do.
When I say find something, I did not say
Yes,
Not-
not take it the other way. I think
not
it's
the other one that
there
are
are legit things that you can
legit.
do to
Exactly.
make
Find something legit
money.
to do. Yeah, exactly. So let's go to the next one.
Next.
Women who live with their parents are less likely to marry.
No.
So I should go and stay with who? I should stay with who? Things are hard. So I will not. Please. I don't understand.
It's not now. Back in those days, or those movies before. It's the best in their father's house that they'll come and pluck the flower. That is saying.
Exactly.
They'll pluck the flower there.
Let me go to the next one since
Okay.
we both know that staying in your father's house does not
It does not stop
stop you from
You
getting
go
married.
out now. It's not like you're always locked inside and you don't go to work or you don't do anything.
Even if your parents will never allow you stay at home 24/7 and they will want you.
push you outside.
Yes, now you.
Madam, go out,
If your
have
parents are
friends.
like if they are very religious, you must go to church so that you see one brother there.
Events.
Yes, you see one brother there. If you are a Muslim, you must go to the mosque and pray. You see somebody there. You understand? So, the next one is
Next one.
it's okay. Let me say it. Being slender attracts more men, therefore increasing your chance to marry.
Being what?
Slender.
So now this is the shame. So what happens to those that are
But you know what? I don't believe in this thing. I feel like guys go for the thicker ladies. I don't know.
No, I think it's if you go for the slim ladies, okay, what is the assurance that after you get married to them and after the whole thing will remain like that? No, it shouldn't be what I ordered was not like God after 20 years of marriage.
Everybody has their
So you can't
preference,
just
sha.
say
That's
because-
just it, sha. But
because of
I
that.
think the thicker ladies are winning.
I think it's just 50-50.
I think so.
This is what they want, they go for it, not because it's the size of the body or the height of the person.
Somebody once said to me that I don't have flesh,
You don't have flesh.
so there's nothing he wants to tap from.
Imagine. And
Painful.
others will say,
Painful.
others will say it's too much.
Painful.
Others will say it's too much flesh. All your body, everything, you don't even have a bone. You don't have one bone in your body. Everything is flesh. It's too much. Who say that now? Okay. Just think it's not reasonable.
So everybody and their preference. Yeah. All right. The next one.
So I guess the big fish has entered. I'll take it from here. Your stories are interesting. A round of applause to Osato, everybody. All right, so Osato held the stream live. It's good to have you guys here. For all the 5 wonderful people who are watching, very first second live stream. We're still working out the bugs. My name is Adif Olami Agumbiadi. I'm your host, and with the wonderful people on the Dark Post Shop. So let me start shouting out to everybody. So a shout out to Shout out to Mr. Shitu. You know I'm shouting out to you now. Well done. We hail you. Thank you for all your efforts. Shout out to AY, Adam, Lawal, Osato, Comfort, and Juliet. And to everybody who has been in the studio for one of our live shows. For those people who have been a part of our live events, shout out to you. So today we're talking about what kind of women get married. Just have to watch. Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things we will be discussing. Let's take you down to that. So we have an article. We'll actually be reviewing a couple of there's a particular book. The book is Why Men Marry Some Women and Not Some Others, and it's a great book. It was published by John T. Molloy several years ago, and I would highly recommend, if you are single, if you're a woman, and if you're at that age in which you are looking to make a proper commitment to relationship, to family, I would strongly recommend you find the book. It's a book by John T. Molloy. We'll display it on the screen. John T. Molloy, Why Men Marry Some Women and Not Others. Okay. Great book. Right, and there's a summary of the book. The book has a couple of summaries. A few first pointers. There are like six basic guidelines for women to get married. Why is it important? We're talking to women all across the world, but in particular, why is it important today? Over the past 40, 50 years, there have been like rapid changes in the way the world works generally. It's interesting to realize that it was about 80, 90 years ago that women entered the workforce. Somewhere around the middle of World War II, that's when lots of women entered the workforce. So previously, from time immemorial, it's been most people were groomed to take on like gender roles. Men would be the provider, women would be stay-at-home wives. For centuries, we're talking about for over 2,000 years. Yes, I know some people did business, some people traded, but the general understanding across cultures in Africa, Arabian cultures, European cultures, even to cultures like Eastern European cultures like Russia, right? Up till the middle of the 19th century, the 20th century, there were gender roles in which women stayed at home and men went off to work. They went off to war. They worked in military, in the army. That was the general understanding. Okay, all throughout time, both sides have traded. Okay, so you had women trading, market women, they traded, but the understanding was that for most cultures, the place of a woman was at home beside a man. Things have changed, right? In the middle of World War II, when wars broke out across Europe, several countries had shortages of men because men who would have gone off to fight, men who would have worked in industries went off to fight in the war. So we ended up having a lot of women had to enter the workforce. Okay, and as a result of that, coming back here, this is 2024. We've had so much of like a women empowerment up to the point in which in schools in the United States, you have lots of women who are getting college degrees much more than men. And so that brings us here right now, because in a world in which the man who was the traditional provider male is no longer needed, you hear that phrase that I'm a strong independent woman, I don't need any man. So in that world in which the man is no longer needed but wanted, okay, marriage has taken the back seat, and it's apparent in all cultures. Luckily for some of us in Africa, marriage is still a big deal, but with internet penetration, some of the ideas in the West are being adopted by African men and women. Okay, so nowadays you end up 50, 60 years ago in Africa, it's very, very rarely to find someone say that this is my partner. Okay, the man historically in Africa was seen as like the head of his family, the head of his home. Okay, nowadays you have a lot of my partner, my better half. So we've imported those ideas. And with importation of some of those ideas into Africa, with widespread entrance of women into the workplace, marriage has taken the back seat. So that's why we're asking, that why exactly? So nowadays it's not rare for you. It's not rare for you to find women in their 30s who are not married. Okay, it's not rare. There was a study. There was a study done. I'll try to pull up the study. There was a study that was a study that predicted that. Let's go take a look at the study. Right. So we take a look at the page. All right. So if you look at the particular study, there's a study that predicted by that 45% of women will be single by 2030. This, by the way, this is an article that was published in Medium. So medium.com was published by Ariana E. You can go look it up. So this was published about roughly a year and a half ago, and the studies that predicted that across the world, 45% of women will be single. Okay, and it has its implications. It has its ramifications. There are some societies that are further down than others. I'll give an example. For example, in South Korea, they have what is called like a demographic collapse. It's not unusual in South. In fact, it's predicted in South Korea that for every 100 people alive today, there will be 4 grandchildren. You understand what that means? That means that for 100 people, there will only be 4 grandchildren. So if you fast forward 50, 60 years, for every 100 people that would die in South Korea, 4 grandchildren will be born to replace them. It's a large demographic collapse. And that's why it matters. It matters for us to have this conversation, because up till this particular point, it is recognized that only women, all right, people arrive this earth through the wombs of women. Please, I understand across Europe, you guys may have disagreements. I don't want to get into gender discussions, right? But it's understood that the female is the one that that children arrive through. And so if you have a decrease in marriage, if you have a decrease in sex for men and women of marriageable age, you're going to have a reproductive collapse. There's going to be like a population collapse. So it matters. Okay, it also matters because generally people understand that there's the need for companionship, right? Companionship is something which most of the time, now these people are living longer, right? Because of modern day medicine, advances in technology and all that, it's not unusual for you to find people living up to the age of 70, 80. And so for people who largely prioritize their career much later in life, they probably might benefit from having a family around them. Okay, so that's why we're having this conversation. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at this study. And this study we have here says that, yes, it's estimated that 45% of women aged 25 to 40 will be single by 2030, according to a study by Morgan Stanley. Okay, so in the modern dating market, it's estimated that about nearly half of women of childbearing years will be without a male counterpart. And there are a few reasons for the prediction. Some of the reasons I mentioned earlier. One of the reasons is that women are getting married young earlier. My own grandmother, for example, got married at the age of 18. She wasn't even sure. She could as well have been 16 when she got married. She was not sure, but she got married between the age of 16 to 18. Right? But right now, there are multiple options for women, okay? If they're not focusing on their careers, they're going to bag a master's, going off to postgraduate school, or even most likely, they're just traveling, they're out traveling, they're hanging out with friends, extended social circles, and taking out time to find the right guy. In previous times, people, you didn't have all this, you're finding the right guy. Most time, by the time you reach the age of 8, a lot of women, they would have pointed to them that is your husband. But in today's world, people spend long, protracted periods to find the right guy. So why does this matter? In my own particular case, it matters because of like fertility issues. I'm a physician, I'm a doctor, and people are just not having babies the way they used to. Okay, so we have multiple options for birth control. Across Africa, people are very, very familiar with the Postinor 2, the very, very popular Postinor 2. There are condoms, there are all forms of contraceptives. In most Western countries, there's also the option for a voluntary termination if a pregnancy. So with that, people are not And then also, even if people wait until their mid 30s, unlike 50, 60 years ago, you have somewhat reliable treatments for infertility. And so, as a result of that, the pressure to have kids is not there as it used to be. And so, because you don't have a pressure to have kids, the urgency to get married is not there for a lot of people, just because you just want to start a family. So, people are not getting married due to those pressures. And so, since that pressure is gone, lots of women are unmarried, and it looks like it's going to seem uncertain for the long future. Okay. Also, people live in different cultures now. Previously, in the past, you lived in a village, somebody lived close to you. There was a pool of eligible men and women around you. Nowadays, more people are living in cities. In the country I'm from Nigeria in West Africa, and almost half of the citizens of Nigeria live in an urban setting. And so it's not unusual for people to live in a city in which they don't even know who their neighbor is. I live in the city of Lagos, and I just have a lot of familiar strangers around me. I can't tell you the names of all my neighbors. Okay. And so people are not meeting themselves the way they used to meet themselves. Okay. So in today's world, it matters. So, and then that's what we'll be talking about. Why some women marry and others don't. Before I came on the live, Osato was telling us stories. So we're telling me a couple of stories. Okay, so we'll take a break. We'll play a couple of songs, and then we will place the link to bring your video into the chat. So if you want to join the video, I'll give you a chance. For those of you who are watching this live, I'll give you a chance to respond. So I'll place the video link in the chat so that anybody who wants to join can join. So we'll just play some music, enjoy, you'll take some music and all that, and then we'll get back to the show.
What you frowning for is my need. Better let's talk about it. Oh, better let's talk about it. What's eating you up? Oh, you got some baby mama issues you're dealing with. Better let's talk about it. You're 2-year-old in hidden shoes, and you don't know where your next meal's coming from. Better let's talk. Let's talk about it. But we all need a shoulder to lean on in adversity. Here's mine. Come on, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about me. Brother, let's talk about it. Brother, let's talk about it. I know sometimes life can get fuzzy, future so blurry, you can talk about it. Sometimes all you need is some listening ears, someone to brag on to. Here I am. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about you. Let's talk about sex, let's talk about all the things you really want to rap about. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Oh, 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 Let's talk about life, let's talk about food, let's talk about God, let's talk about you. Let's talk about her, let's talk about it. Ooh, better, let's talk about it. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. And what you frowning for is my ear. Better let's talk about it. Oh, better let's talk about it. What's eating you up? Or you got some baby mama issues you're dealing with? Better let's talk about it. You're 2-year-old in hidden shoes and you don't know where your next meal's coming from. Better let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about sex, let's talk about God, let's talk about you. Brother, let's talk about it. Cause we all need a shoulder to lean on in adversity. Here's mine. Come on, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about me. Brother, let's talk about it. Brother, let's talk about it. I know sometimes life can get fuzzy and the future so blurry. You can talk about it. Sometimes all you need is some listening ears, someone to brag on to. Here I am. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about. Let's talk about all the things you really want to rap about. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about it. Ooh, let's talk about it. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, everybody.
Let's talk
when you
about
are
life,
this,
let's talk about food, let's talk about God, let's talk about you, let's talk about her, let's talk about it.
working out
Ooh,
the
better
box
let's
and
talk
the production process. I'm sure 6 months from now, you're going to recognize a completely different live stream. So just enjoy this process with us. For everybody who has been a part of the show, all right. So you've heard my thoughts about that. We will continue the conversation now. So I'd like to hear your thoughts. I want to hear about, before we continue, because we have to unpack this. It's important because, I mean, a lot of people have we want to help as many people who are our friends and family, friends of the show. We want to actually help them to find. All right, so we have Bami. Bami is about to join. Bami, how you doing? You're doing fine. Okay. So I'm gonna add you to the conversation now. Are you good?
How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Bami, what's up?
I'm fine. Thank you, sir.
This one that you're doing, Sasa. Okay. Come in with your video now. You don't want to come in with your video.
Put it down. Come in.
Let's have your video in the chat. Well, you can't watch the YouTube while you're part of the chat. You know that. So, fine boy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so first, so that we don't go too far, are you? So your name, where you're joining us from, and then are you married? Are you looking to get married?
I'm single. Single already.
You're smiling like somebody I know. You're smiling. You have the same smile like someone I know. Okay, so let's hear your thoughts about it. You've been. Why are you calling? Where are you joining us from? And let's hear your thoughts.
Emmanuel, thank you for having me on the show.
Okay, we're listening to you. I can hear you. Yeah, so we're talking about the conversation we're having is the kind of why men marry some women and not others. And when we started out the conversation, we started out by saying that in today's world, things are a bit different now. Women have a bit more of, they have more career options than they historically used to have. And so it's not unusual for you to have women say that they are single, they are independent, they don't need a man. And it's having, for the individual, it's a great thing when people make decisions for themselves. But in much wider society, you are seeing the effects ripple into society. Because if people do not get together, people don't have families, they don't have children, society kind of like, collapses. We're seeing that in South Korea. It's predicted that in South Korea, for every 100 people alive now, there will be 4 grandchildren. Okay, so the South Korea's population is predicted somewhere in the next 50, 60, 100 years is near extinction. And so we are unpacking this because we are beginning to see this in Nigeria, we're beginning to see this in West Africa. And so I'd just like to hear your thoughts about that.
Well, like I used to say, having a partner. So can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm listening.
Yes. Having a partner is important. It's very, very important. It's something that's very, very important because eventually there are things that you need to do that you can't do alone. And having someone right by your side that shares the same vision, that shares the same purpose with you, is important to make your dreams achievable. And to get the question right, the question was how, like, making a choice for your partner.
Now, I'm asking you that why is it, for example, you're not married now, and I'm sure you've dated several girls.
Yeah, I did.
All right. You've been to our studio now. You've been.
Yeah.
I guess the way you're dressed, I guess you're not in Nigeria at the moment.
No. I'm in the UK currently.
Okay, you're in the UK currently. Fine. Yeah. So you've been in our studio. So in the UK presently, are you dating anyone in the UK? No.
No, I'm not currently.
Not currently. Why? Are you looking to
Because
date someone first?
yeah, I'm looking. I'm talking to. I'm I'm verifying my options. Like I have a couple people I'm talking to, but at this point in time, I'm being more careful about the kind of person I date because it has to be in line with what I have for myself. Like I have goals, I have a purpose. I don't want to just date anyone that doesn't share the same belief and the same goals and doesn't have the same purpose as me at this moment. Yeah, like I have a couple girls I'm
That
talking to.
sounds that sounds like a lot of philosophizing when you say the same purpose and all that. I don't know. Okay, so right now you are verifying your option. What does that mean? What does the selection process look like? Okay, because you okay. Let me just make that question. Let me make it much more clearer. Right now, as it is now, within the next 1 to 2 years, are you looking to get married? Are you looking to start a family?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so what yardstick are you using for your selection process? And what barriers are in the way for you? If you're comfortable talking about it on camera.
Yes. Well, the yardsticks I'm looking at to make such decision is first, the lady I'm gonna be with has to be someone that shares my dreams, that shares my passion, that shares my vision. Someone that I can bring on board to say yes, this is the plan. This is what I'm into. This is what I want to do full time. This is what is on ground, and the person has to be willing and able to say yes, I'm with you. We can do this together. We can when there is a show, when there is a goal, when there is work to do. Yes, we can have four hands on the table, not someone that's just there to give birth, or someone that will
And
just be
you
there as a wife or as
and
a
and you're
girlfriend.
giving and you're giving the impression. So you're telling me that in the whole of the UK as it is right now, you have not found anybody. You've not found one person that
I like I said, I'm talking to couple girls. Like I have a take for instance tomorrow. I have a outing with someone. Like I wouldn't call it a date, but yeah, I can call it a date too. But you know, from the date, I can decide from the conversations we're going to have. Yeah, I've some girls I'm talking to, but I'm just trying to be picky because here it is very, very different from Nigeria. This
what's different. What is different about the dating in the UK?
okay. It is hard for Nigerians who just got into the UK to get a girlfriend just like that, because unlike Nigeria, it is quite easy. You can get a girl's number, text her easily, and talk about meeting or the normal Niger way. But here, trying to talk to a girl, the first problem or the first difficulty you're faced with is the girl can tell you straight up in the first 30 seconds of your conversation, I have a boyfriend. 80% of the girls in the UK will tell you, I have a boyfriend, even if they don't have a boyfriend. Like they just cut you short. They don't want you to go further. And another barrier is when you just get into the UK. I have friends in Canada too. It's the same experience. I think it's how the Western world is. The minute you try to get along with any girl, they can sense your aura. They can see from a distance that no, this one is not part of us. And another thing is when they know that you're not part of them, they feel you don't have the vibe to you know to sustain the relationship, even if you get into a relationship. But
What
then,
do you mean by part of? What do you mean by part of them?
like, you're a stranger. You're not from the UK. Like, you're a stranger. You're not someone from their world. So you have a different personality that wouldn't fit their style or their way of life. And even if they get into a relationship, it wouldn't blend in. But then it's a game of numbers. You definitely see someone that likes your person, and I think that makes it quite difficult. But there are other people that use a different route, like to get a girlfriend, which eventually does not last. Which is why, like when you said why haven't I gotten a girlfriend, because I wouldn't go through that route. A lot of people go to the
What
club.
route is that? Okay.
Yeah, they go to the club. It is quite easy there. You go to the club to buy a couple drinks. If you try that in 2 to 3 weeks, say maximum of a month, you definitely see a girl to take out or just hang out with, and a few of my friends that have tried that, they've been into relationships that didn't last because, like they say, as easy as it comes, that is how easily it goes. So that's just the current.
You've done a lot of theorizing and philosophizing, but you haven't given us anything. So are you looking to date anybody from Nigeria? Let's start with that.
No, I'm not.
Why?
Now, to get the question right, is this someone from Nigeria here or someone based in Nigeria currently?
Somebody that's based in Nigeria currently now. Because if you are saying that you're having difficulties over there, then you should be able to find someone.
At all. I'm not looking to date from Nigeria at all.
Why?
That's not an option because
no long distance, no over the sea.
Yes, in fact, yes, you have answered it, sir. Because over there, I don't know what the person is doing, and I can't. I can't put. How do Yoruba used to say something? If I'm allowed to say that, I can't put fire under my roof and sleep. I wouldn't want to be with someone from Nigeria, and no, that's not an option currently.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple of personal questions. You have the chance to answer or not. How old are you presently?
I'm 30.
Okay. You're a graduate, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. And do you feel that you've worked independently for enough of a while to settle down to get married right now? Do you feel you've worked enough do you feel that you have been able to at least amass enough resources that you can use to start a family from a financial standpoint now?
Honestly, I don't think I have. I don't think I've worked independently enough because looking at how far I've come and looking at what I have on ground currently, I don't think I'm in the position to settle down to get married.
And so that means that even if you're dating anybody presently now, you can't get married to them from a financial standpoint. I'm not putting you on blast. I'm just
like I said, it's a building phase. It's a building stage. It's a building phase currently, and I wouldn't get married to whoever I'm dating in 2 months, or in 3 months, or in 4 months. Like still see how things goes. In a couple of months, say date for a while, say a year, and yes, a year, 2 years. That's okay. I think that's something.
Okay, so you most likely you've been following the show for quite some time, and I'll say some couple of things. Okay, so on the show, what we advocate for women particularly is that most of the time men are not going to contemplate marriage generally across the world, most men will not contemplate marriage until they reach the age of between 28 to 33, because that's like the age of decision making, particularly for graduates. For people who are like who are high school graduates, usually the age is around the age of 23 or so. Okay, most men would not consider getting married at all until they've been working and they've been like able to amass resources independently for at least 3 to 5 years. So eventually, most men won't do that. Okay, so most men would expect that, okay, you know what, I'm a graduate, I get a job, I work for 3 to 5 years or so, I have enough resources stockpiled, then I'm considering getting married. What you sound like with what you're saying right now, what you sound like right now, I think the barrier for you is not just going out to the club. I think the barrier for you is somewhere within the next 2 to 3 years. You are, even if you date someone right now, you probably may not be able to tie the knot with that.
I wouldn't say that. I
Okay.
wouldn't. I wouldn't say that because 3 years with 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 the plan, with the way things are going, working, putting some money in savings. Uh, it doesn't take too much to get married. It doesn't take too much to get married. If definitely I need to be independent, like you said, working, having some resources put up to ensure that okay, yes, I think I'm here and
And
I can make a decision spreading.
how long do you think that would look like?
Maximum of 2 years.
And so we're
Maximum of
like almost in the same space. If you say maximum of 2 years, then you're still going to spend like a year to plan a wedding. So that's going to fall like in a 3 year space. Anyway, thank you for at least allowing us to get into your personal life. So what's the situation with the UK like? This off the scene now, but because we constantly right now in Nigeria, I'm sure if you've been following the news about Nigeria, if you've kept in touch with your friends and family in Nigeria, you've heard about the way things are going. So generally, we hear there's a cost of living crisis everywhere. We keep reading about it in the UK. The Telegraph newspaper kind of like publishes cost of living crisis. So in comparison, just by the side, what's it like?
the cost of living in UK is not as with the things I've heard in Nigeria. I was just having a conversation with a friend before I came on the show, talking about how the cost of living has gone up, the rate of pounds to naira, dollar to naira, and all that, and how things have gone really, really expensive. Things are not that bad here. Things are not so bad. Cost of living here is fine. The only thing that takes a lot from the people here is the cost of getting a place, that is getting an apartment to stay in. I think that's the most
What's like the
expensive.
average cost of an apartment in what part of the UK are you staying? Like what
I'm in
area?
London. Yeah, I'm in,
Okay,
I'm in
what's
central London.
what's like the cost for like a 2 bedroom apartment? So
A 2 bedroom apartment is about £2,000 and above, depending.
that's per
on
month.
Yes, per month.
Is that in the city center or like on the outskirts?
That is in the city center.
Okay.
That is in the city. 2,000, 2,500, depending on the structure of the house, how beautiful it looks, how large the space is.
What's the cost of like buying outrightly?
Buying a mortgage now is about 40,000.
That's like the
£40,000.
down payment. Is that the 30% down payment or?
That's the 40,000. The 40,000, because when you pay the 40,000 upfront, then you can start making some gradual payments. That's like 50%, because you won't be
Are
allowed
you
to
saying
pay
that's
once.
50% of the cost of the house?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you telling me that you would get a house in London, 2 bed in London for 80,000 pounds?
Exactly.
That
If it
doesn't
is
sound possible to me.
if it is a house that you're buying, I'm not talking about renting. Buying
Yes,
a house.
yes. The cost of buying a house in. Okay, I won't take you to task on that because that's not like the major. That's not like the major focus of the show. All right, but it's great to have you on. Thanks for being a part of the conversation. This is very very second live. Would love to have you every week, 5 p.m. West African time. So I think that should be like 6 o'clock your time or so.
That's 6 o'clock all the time. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. At least give people a sense of what it looks like to live in another city apart from a West African city. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir.
And I wish you all the best in your pursuit of the wife.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Yeah. Mr. Gbemi, everyone.
Yeah, bye, sir.
Yeah. All right. So that was Gbemi, called in from the UK, telling us the reason why he can't, why he's not looking to, um, more or less like the obstacles in his path towards getting a wife presently. Not obstacles, but the reasons why he's not getting married at the time. Okay, so for the show, majorly for the show, one of the at this point I'll tell you, if you're watching the show and you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please do. Okay, we're going to be taking this much larger over the course of time. You can subscribe across all platforms at Dark Boss Show. Okay, so at Dark Boss Show across all platforms. Okay, so you would I'll put that up on the display at Dark Boss Show so that you can, if you want to join on TikTok, YouTube, okay, so that's it at Dark Boss Show across all the channels. You can just join, follow us, and send in your questions. If you have issues, if you have a couple of comments, if you have suggestions, things that you think we should discuss, so join us there. So we want to bring other people in. Like to hear your thoughts on the conversation. We're talking about why the kind of women will get married. So a couple of guidelines for the show. If you're a woman and you're nearing that age of 28 to 30 and you want to be married, it's very important. One of the things that you need to put at the back of your mind, there are 6 basic guidelines. The first is you must insist on it. So if you're in a dating relationship, you have to enter every dating relationship with the mindset that you don't have time to waste. Okay? If you find that you're dating someone or you've gone on like a couple of dates with the person and the person doesn't look like he's in that place, time or frame where he's getting his act together, it may be time to move on. You need to realize that you would have to love yourself first. One of the challenges that we face in dating relationships, that's typically over time, it's hard separating those who are real from those who are just out to get something from you. And it's both men and women experience this. There are people who enter into relationships because they want constant access to sex. There are women who date men because they want constant access to money, and vice versa. So you have to love yourself first, prioritize yourself, insist on it. If any relationship, move on. You would have to commit yourself to the idea of getting married. Okay? And it can be hard, particularly if you're much younger. You probably may think that you have all the time in the world, but from the age of 24 to the age of 28 or to the age of 30 is roughly about 300 Fridays. That means that if you attend one wedding every weekend, you attend 300 weddings before, from the age of 24 to the age of 30. So one has to keep that in mind. Also, people tend to want to date women who are slimmer. Okay, so for women, and for both people actually, both men and women, keep in shape, watch your appearance, take care of your appearance. And so you have to use your time wisely to search for the marrying kind of man. Okay, so those are the general thoughts of the show. Let's look at who else might be in the live stream that wants to comment. Let's see. I don't think we have anybody else in the live stream. Keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this every week until we gain traction. So there are lots of things to be on the lookout for. Next week today we're talking about the kind of women that get married. Next week we'll be talking about the stages in a relationship, the various stages that people go through. I'm not talking about talking stage. We're talking about stages from living up to expectations, getting to know the person, the needs and lifestyles people will go through, the steady dating, the range, um, the stage of romancing the woman, trying to please the woman, and because you have to realize that people go through that stage. There's usually a stage in which a man wants to please a woman. They get to a stage in the relationship, the man frankly does not care. Okay, so and then we'll talk about stages of getting comfortable and all that. So generally, we'll talk about that. That's what we'll talk about next week Tuesday. So if you're on this live stream, would advise that you next week is going to be a lot to unpack. This is a very second live stream, so it's we're still working out transmission issues, and we're bringing people from all across the world. The idea behind this particular stream is we want it to be like a wormhole to connect people from all across the world, so that you can meet, build relationships from people in other continents, in other countries. We will be having people from all nationalities, from Kenya, the Republic of South Africa, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, the Netherlands. We'll have several people that will be joining in relationships. So that's basically what we'll be doing. We're hoping that also you probably will be able to probably plan your family. For those of you who are yet to find love and decide on who to settle down with, we're hoping that you'll be able to build those relationships as you follow us on the show. Okay, so why should you listen to me? Why should you follow us? I'm Ade Falami Agumbi. I'm a public health physician. This is my second decade of practice in community medicine and primary care. I'm an occupational health physician as well. And so I spend a lot of time focused on the things that affect people's lives, okay, that are outside of their physical body. You have doctors who deal with things that affect your life, internal medicine, the state of your organs and all that. I tend to talk to people about their decisions, their day-to-day decisions in the workplace, the day-to-day decisions in their personal lives, those things that they go through that affects their health. And so we'll be having a lot of those conversations, from occupational health to relationship health to romantic health as well. We'll have lots of that. We can see there's somebody else who wants to join also. I think his name is Mystify. Mystify, if you want to join him, you have to put on your camera so we know who's talking. Mystify, I can see you in the chat. Please, if you want to join the chat, you have to put on your camera. You want to contribute to the conversation? Put on your camera. Let's hear what you have to say. What's your real name? You can't join the live stream and also watch yourself on YouTube. Okay, so if you want to join the live stream, you have to exit YouTube. You can't play YouTube on the same device, otherwise you'll keep getting the feedback.
I don't have YouTube on. That's why I'm having difficulty right now.
Okay. All right.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name? Because the word mystify is.
Okay, my name is Olabiolu Afemi.
Okay.
So I'm still having difficulty because this is my first time joining the live stream. I just got the link, so I'm still trying to get my way around it. So
it doesn't matter. You just click. You put on your camera and then.
Yeah, I'm putting on my camera, but it's not coming up. That's it.
Okay.
I'm putting on my camera, it's not coming up. It's telling me something that I don't know, and I'm trying to check from my tabs if there's any open YouTube channel or whatever, and it's not just there.
Okay, so let's have your thoughts. Even if your camera is not on, let's have your thoughts on the conversation.
I just joined. I what I met was talking about the cost of living in UK compared to Nigeria, and I heard when he was talking about uh, his own plans, his own personal plans on when to get settled down. He was saying 2 years, and you were telling him that would be maximum of 3 years. Do you get me? So that was why I met. I didn't start with you guys from the beginning.
Okay, okay. So today's conversation. So by way of introduction, have we met physically? Have you come into the studio? Have you been any of our guests in our physical studio?
No, 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 at
Okay,
all.
so at all. Okay, so
This is my
um,
first time. I'm just getting to know. I only joined, and what I met was quite interesting. So I just felt, even if I wasn't even ready to contribute, I just wanted to listen.
okay, but you are here now. You have to contribute. So yes, you have to contribute. You are here. So there's wisdom everywhere.
Yes,
And
yes,
we are
yes. And
trying
I'm
to
open. I'm
help
always open to
distribute
learning.
it.
Actually.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I'll give you a bit of background. So Dark Pod Show is a show that helps people start things, start new careers, new relationships, and figure out the way the world works. It's a practical show.
Okay.
I'm Ade Folami Agumbiade. I'm a clinical physician. In my day-to-day life, every single day, I work as a doctor. I see people, I see patients, I consult for patients. Okay, and over the course of time, I found out that people make decisions in their personal lives that set them up for um, health issues down the line. So a
Okay.
major reason why we kind of like have the show is to help people, inform them with, so just generally inform them with the knowledge they need to make the decisions when it matters. And I'll give a very, very simple example. So today's show is we're talking about the kind of women who get married. Okay. And the reason why we're having this conversation is because it's been my own experience as a physician. I would see women in their late 30s who come to the hospital or to the clinic rather, and they are having difficulty having children. Okay. And so they think that they probably have like a fertility issue. And I would have to explain to them that usually by the time you are almost 40, depending on when you start seeing your menses, for women in particular, they have run out of their eggs. Okay, there's a particular study that was published by the British Medical Journal, which showed that women by the age of 30, 88% of the eggs have been used, and by the age of 40, roughly about 97%. So a lot of women who wait until their late 30s to get married, by the time they want to have children, it becomes a bit harder. And so that's why we're having this conversation to help young people all across the world make the decisions about their relationship when it matters. Okay, because there was a particular study, and that was the study about. I'll put the study up on the screen. There was a study that was done, and that study predicts that um, you can go and read it up. It's an article. This is an article on Medium, and the study predicts that by 2030, by 2030,
45% of women
45%
will
of
be
women
single.
will be single, and the
I'll
major
check this
reason
out.
for that is because they've been told that there are multiple options available. Okay, so so getting married is not the default option. Am I highlighting the issue here? We have so many options for what to. They have so many options for what to do with their lives. Several people are focusing on their career. They're going on to grad school. They're traveling. They're spending time with their friends and extended family. And so people spend a lot of their time doing that in their 30s. So you have a woman who is 30-year-old. She just has probably like about 10 to 12% of her eggs left, and the time in which we should focus on having children at least, she's spending that time getting a graduate degree, and by the time they reach almost the age of 40, particularly in African countries, they now start having it difficult having children.
Hmm.
So that's why people have to prioritize their relationships. Okay, so that's the major reason why we're having the show majorly. So the conversation today was ended up shifting around the kind of women who get married. And we had a couple of things that we outlined. One of the things we outlined is the fact that um, a lot of times most men have a particular age in which they get married. Most men will not get married before the age of 28, particularly if they've gone to university and they have a degree. Most
Yes.
men will not get married unless they've worked independently and been able to amass some form of money. Sometimes it takes between 3 to 5 years to do that. So eventually, if you have anybody who goes to university, graduates, goes for youth service, as is the case in Nigeria, and the person has to work for 3 to 5 years, he probably may not get married before the age of 31 to 33. So that's the conversation we are having. So that women have yardstick that if they meet a man, just by asking how old he is he in his life, you can assess whether this person is the kind of person who may settle down. So I don't know. At this These are the point in which I'd like to have your thoughts on this. Probably could tell how old you are if you're married, if you're single and you're dating. Just give us an idea of as to. You said your name is Olaria Waju,
No, Oluwafemi.
Oluwafemi. Okay.
Yes. Olami.
So your thoughts on that?
So the, let me start from my recent experience. I have this person that she's in her 30s, and initially she was just after, okay, even if I can't get married, let me just have a child at least. So she's been working right from school independently. She was into baking, and things went on well. So of recent, she's been having issues with men. So the common factor in the men she's been having is aside, married women, men that just want fun and all. The men that she feels okay, I can settle down with. The issues there is that they look at the economy, they look at how the whole thing is going. Every day, what you bought for 50 naira today, you can go there and meet it for 250 naira next week. It is that bad. So, and everyone is on survivor mode actually right now. So I would say personally, I am single right now, and I tell you, from my 1 to 5 on my priority list, I don't have marriage on
On the
any.
list.
I'm
How old
telling
are you
you, one to
presently?
five.
How old are you?
I'll be 30 this year. So
Do you have anybody you're dating presently?
no, I don't. I don't.
Okay, so you don't have anybody you're
I
deceiving.
recently,
You're sure?
I recently had a broken relationship that I
Okay.
felt okay we can grow with, we can grow together with, and all of those things. And I kid you not, if I tell you it is because of maybe this or that, it is never. It is because of money. No, no two ways about it. It is because of money. It is never because you hear you are not listening. You're not caring. You're not this. You're not that. She practically told me you are trying, but I don't find it enough.
You don't find it enough. Okay,
Yeah,
you're saying
yeah,
that
like
probably she's. We had a gentleman on the show who he was dating a girl, and the girl who was dating told him that his financial level is too low.
see, if what I heard was enough for me to say okay, please, how much is sniper? But then I'm like,
Okay.
I
So now you have to unpack. You have to unpack how it happened. All right, because if you're getting to the point in which you're
the thing is,
considering,
I'm
okay,
not actually ready. I'm not in this in the mental state to actually unpack to that extent right
okay,
now. So you understand? Like I'm even happy to share. I would be very very glad to share. Maybe some other time. Finding that
okay,
this show is actually very very good, and I feel we talk less on mental health, which is a very very serious issue right now, because we have higher percentage of men committing suicide than women, and that is not because men are not strong enough, but we don't talk. And
that's true.
We don't talk, we don't share, we don't support each other that well. When a man talks, you just be like, you're a man, go and deal with it. You're a man. Men don't crack, men don't do this,
That's
and all
true.
of those. So I would really like to share. So I just got in right now, so I'm even having my, let's say, lunch stroke, probably dinner or
Dinner.
something. So
You are eating. You
so
mean you are still taking? You are still taking like 3 square meals in the current economy.
3 square meals. My Esa, my brother, it is 001, sometimes 011, sometimes 100. So it's just
What
like
is it?
that. So actually, so for me that is planning my life actually now, even when you plan in Nigeria, you have to put that Nigeria factor there because all for unforeseen circumstances that will arise, that will surely arise. If you are not careful, Nigeria will make its own plan for you, and you will think that is the plan for you that you want for yourself. So now me trying to figure out my life, I finished service, I've been doing this and that side of those and figuring out
How long
what I
ago did you
really,
finish youth service?
sir.
How long ago did you finish youth service?
It's going to be a year now, a year plus. It's going to a year now.
Okay.
So now that I finished service, I didn't even rush into service after I finished. I finished from FUNAB. I did a 5 years course. So I didn't rush into service because I wanted to have something in hand. Because of all this, you have to settle down and you have to make a life for yourself. Because I figured when you say you want to live love and relationship and you say you want to chase your life, you will still come back and meet all those ones that you felt you are going to marry right. Can I speak pidgin please, or can I be fluent in any language that I want?
Yes, you can speak. You can speak. Do you speak? Do you
So,
speak Yoruba?
so
You speak
I
Yoruba.
speak Yoruba. I speak
And but
Yoruba.
the challenge with speaking pidgin is that, for example, as we're watching this, we have a couple of friends, people from the United Arab Emirates,
Okay,
other
okay.
parts. So if you speak in pidgin, they probably may not hear you.
Okay. So what I'm
Okay.
trying to say is that when you chase, I figured out when you chase money, when you chase money and that life that you want to actually be okay before you now go for a wife, it is those women that are already into the world. We could say like they are already done. You understand me? That you now meet up. They too, they've been to the southeast and all of those things. They have tried, they have had fun all their life. And you will now end up and meeting that kind of person in church or in Shiloh because the person too is looking for a husband. And you now feel like, oh, God has joined you both together. Until you hear apart, before you now know, well, I'm in big shit. So at the end of the day, if care is not taken, once you marry wrong, that is it. At that age, it will be very, very hard for you to now say, let me go again, thereby having a broken home. And you just say, okay, let me just continue rolling in this, patching it, until you have a broken home and you live your life the way you don't want it to be. So I saw that early and I said, okay, let me calm down. I saw that early and say, let me plan everything together. And
Okay.
and I was doing that with someone that I felt we were growing together until it dawned on me that I was
Until
only
they served
growing.
you breakfast.
Oh my god, this one is not breakfast. I feel this is a buffet because I ate it for so long. I ate it for so long. I didn't, breakfast. You just eat it once and say, okay, I'm okay. But I ate it for so long. I ate it for a week because I kept asking, is this really for real? Is this what is this
Yeah, but you
happening?
haven't. You know what, Femi? You've not given us details of you because the point again also, and that side of the show is this: is the fact that somebody you didn't put your full name. We don't have and this is going to everybody. Just pause a minute. This is going to everybody who wants to join in this conversation via video. Please put your names and your contact details, maybe like your Instagram handle, your Twitter handle, and all that, so that somebody who is listening to somebody may want to reach out to you, maybe talk to you. Somebody may like the way you talk, may feel that they can wait 2 years for you. All right. We don't have your details. Femi, we don't have details of
Okay.
your conversation.
Okay, no
And
problem.
if you really want, if you want other people to learn, I think it would be best to have. I mean, your video is not on, so all we just
I
have
will
is your
do
name.
that
You
the next
can.
time. Don't worry, it will be better next Tuesday. I heard
All right.
you honestly, it will be better next day. I just joined, like, let me hear what they have to say. Someone just sent me the link just now. I was even asking, okay, what is it? I said join and whatever. I haven't even read the person's message explaining what everything is about. I just joined and I paused for a minute. I know me very well. Then from there I just listened. So that was just
Yeah.
what
Okay.
happened. I'm sorry for.
That's no. It's understandable. It's understandable. We're
So
here for you. So
let me give you a little bit details. With I and the
I'm listening to you. Hello.
I and her were friends for long. Sorry, I had a call. We've been friends for long. As a matter of fact, we went to the same school, the same department. We were just friends. Then we became good friends. So I never had any ulterior motive like romance or I find I later was I was finding her attractive. Then I'm this kind of person that don't like to lose
We can't hear.
people
Not
just
you. Okay.
because of any selfish gain. So I redefine anything. Once I'm feeling something towards anybody, I try to check through again, check through over and again just to be sure so that I don't lose the person. I don't like to lose people over trivial things or just little things. So I checked for over. So she was already, she was feeling me then. She liked me, but I just thought it was just platonic friendship and friends help each other out and all of those things. So we were there for long. Then after during my service, I figured it out. She made it known, and we started before my service. Actually, then on and off. Then we made it a real something when I started my service. Then we were there. It was growing, it was growing, it was growing, and things were. I felt she was seeing me trying. I only told her this. I said, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm perfect. But I want to promise you something. As long as you are willing, I will keep trying. And that was my mandate.
I
That
didn't
was
get what you
what I
just
was.
said. Now you said that as long as what?
I told her as long as she's willing, she's willing
Okay.
because for you to try out anything with somebody, the person has to be willing.
As long as he's willing for what? Is he willing for a relationship or willing to wait for
As
you
long as she's willing
to stay?
to stay with me.
What do you
Yes,
mean by
like to
stay?
choose me.
Okay.
Do you
Was
do you
she
get me?
was she date? Okay. How old was she at the time in which you started dating?
She was 29.
That means she was like a year older than you.
Eh?
She
Sorry?
was like a year older than you. Was she a year older than you?
No, we're age mates.
Okay, so that means she should be 30 years old right now.
Yes.
Is she
Her
married
birth
now?
month comes before mine, so
So she was older, more or less.
yes.
Is she
Like
still
a
married
month.
now?
Married? No, she's not.
She's still not married.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
So I told her, in all, I'm ready to, face these challenges together with you and everything. And if as long as you're willing to make this work, I wouldn't stop trying. And make communication a key. Whatever you're feeling, let me know. Don't leave me to puzzles. I'm not a mind reader. Let me know what's up. So I stood by that. I was always trying. I was always doing all of those things. Like anytime I had something, I would do. I would try. I'm this kind of person. I have this love language that goes by. I'm very very affectionate,
How
and
long?
I,
How long did you guys date for?
we dated for we've been friends for over 6 years, and we dated for 6 months.
Okay, so you dated for 6 months. How long did you date before she broke things off?
I am telling you, in that 6 months, she broke up 4 times.
Well, but Femi, you shouldn't be surprised right now. You shouldn't be surprised now
Actually,
that she broke
you
things off
see,
with you.
you see, you see. Yes, yes, yes. But after the first time, that went on for like 2 days, you'd be like, okay, maybe she was just tired. Then she will come back. Then we'll come back. She will talk. She will actually seem genuine, and it will go on, go on, go on. Then one small fight, one little fight is going to happen again. And before the third one, I was already seeing the signs. I was already seeing the red flags. But because of the affection and this selfless thing I have, I was thinking the red flags were carnival. So I was saying, okay, okay, this is just a carnival. Maybe I just need to
Femi,
let her
Femi,
heal.
Femi, Femi. Can I
Sir,
be honest with you?
yes.
Okay, so let me be honest with you. If a woman is 29 years old and she's older than you, like a month older than you, and you guys
Okay.
were dating,
Okay.
all right, it doesn't matter what you say. What she wants is to hear when is the wedding holding. She doesn't have the luxury. She doesn't at that particular point in time. Every single day in which she's waking up. Okay, and I'm speaking now for, because I know some people may hear this. I'm speaking now particularly for African women. Right, when an African woman reaches the age of 29, generally, not all women, but generally, she wants to have commitment. She wants to have receipts. She wants to be sure that you can start a family almost immediately. Okay, and from what you are saying, there's by the age of 29, no woman really has the luxury. Because the truth of the matter, you could date her for like 2-3 years, and she's 32. And then by the time you have your money together, you now go ahead to go and marry somebody who is 23 years old.
Yeah,
It happens.
I thought about that. Actually, we spoke about this before we even started, because I made mention of this. I told her, are you willing to wait? That was why I told her, are you willing? You have to be willing. You have to be ready to say, okay, I choose this person, and this is the plan that we are working towards. I asked her, we spoke about this.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you ask her. And I'm telling you this. And the reason why this is important is because you have to, for your next relationship. Are you seeing anybody presently?
No, not at all.
Okay, so I will tell
I'm
you
not
this.
even open to.
You're not looking.
Yeah,
Okay.
right now.
Are you currently working? Have you gotten a job presently? A full-time job, or you
No,
still
I
probably like,
recently left my.
okay, so you are like in between,
I
you are
left
in
the job.
between.
I relocated. I relocated back to Lagos. So I left my job. I'm job searching in Lagos right now.
Okay, so I would say
So I had
this.
to leave
And
where I was.
Femi, you probably may not like what I want to tell you, right? So I would tell you this, okay, man to man, I would say for the next 2-3 years, just get your finances in order.
That is what
Okay,
I'm saying. I'm not
and
ready.
if you
I'm not
want to
looking.
date anybody, I would strongly suggest that you probably set your sights to probably maybe like 22, 23. But probably for the next 2 years until you have your finances in order, because not even with the state of the country and the state of the general global economy. Okay, if you
Sir,
date,
I am not even looking. I just want to get my life together and set things right first. I'm not even looking. I am not even looking, actually.
okay, so
Yeah.
we'll do this. I'll do you this favor. Not a favor really, but for being one of the first set of people who've joined the show. If you're willing to come online next week, if you're willing to you come on camera, try to dress like you would be dressing for an interview and all that. And then I'll
Okay.
probably give you like 5 minutes, you'll talk, and you talk about what it is that you do and the opportunities that you're looking for.
Okay.
And then also contact details and email address and phone number that you can be reached on. This is live, but we'll still end up editing the video, and the video, you don't know where the video may end up. So I'll do you that favor. Somebody may watch next week's video. and then they may reach out to you. You talk quite well, you speak well, you sound very, very intelligent and all that. So, and I wish and pray that good things happen for you this year. In the
Amen, amen.
middle of
Thank you,
in the middle
thank
of
you.
every single thing. So thank you very much for joining.
No
Join us
problem.
next
Thank
week.
you.
Follow the channel.
Definitely.
You can always, if you have other things that you probably need advice with, you can always send an email, advice at
Okay.
darkpod.com. I'll try to put that up on the screen so that see it. So you can send an email
Okay, no
and
problem.
just so so you can just send an email to that email address, advice at darkpod.com.
Okay,
If
thank you.
all right. So thank you very much for joining us for this live. This is our
Thank you
very
for
second
having
live.
me. Thank you.
Okay. So really appreciate the time you spent with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really
All
appreciate it.
right.
I feel lighter a bit. Thank
everybody
you.
everybody will get their own share of breakfast now. Like Bonner Boy said,
This one,
everybody
this one,
everybody
I
everybody
this
go chop
kind of person.
breakfast.
Actually, this is my own first breakfast.
This
I
is your
don't even
first
put up.
relationship.
No, not my first. Okay, let me say my first real relationship. To be honest,
Okay.
so
Well, like some people would say that some would say that if your heart has never been broken, you've never
no.
been in love. So yeah,
Anyways, I'm no. Like I said, I scrutinize everything that I want to do very, very well before I actually go into it. In fact, I prayed. I did everything. So that was why
yeah,
it's
but
just
prayer can there are some things prayer cannot overcome. Now prayer can overcome
yeah,
the
yeah. But I always believe that anything you put in God's hands first, I feel has a better chance surviving.
but you're not also the only person praying now. There are people across the world praying, and God has to factor in their prayers together. But I would
Yeah.
just say this, summarize this, just get your money in order. And you spend the next two,
Yes.
3 years,
Yes.
focus on getting your
Yes.
finances, your career in order. And if you
Actually,
want to date someone, just realize that any woman above the age of 24, particularly an African woman, once you are saying hello to her and she's taking you seriously, she wants at some point in time, if she takes you seriously, she's looking at getting married. Okay,
thank
so
you
that
very much.
she shouldn't come to you as a surprise. Yeah. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you
I'll
for
see you.
having
I'll
me.
see you on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. So that was Femi, aka Mr. Fi. We're doing a couple of things. Starting from next week, we will be running a couple of raffle draws. Okay. And we run it every week. Okay. A couple of things. The raffle draw is open to all new and existing subscribers. So yes. So what do you stand to win? All right. So from next week, the 10 grand available for grabs during every live, and it will go to the most engaging person. So we'll factor in the person who joins not the most outrageous story, but the person who joins the call with the most interesting story we can learn from. Okay, the channel is our Dark Post Show on YouTube. As we gain subscribers and followership across other channels, we will also stream to other platforms. But for now, you can see us on YouTube at Dark Post Show. That's the channel on YouTube. So if you join us next week and you are part of the live session and you come in with a compelling story and conversation that we can all learn from, and we see your activity in the chat and all that, you stand a chance to win 10 grand. Okay. I have to qualify 10,000 in Naira. Okay. 10,000 in Naira, or the equivalent in US dollars. That should be between $5 to $10 or so. Yeah. Somewhere around that. So for one person. So we're trying to build a community. We're trying to build a congregation. There are great things that we're doing. And would like you guys to be a part of the journey. Okay. We're starting out this particular live. We just had about 7 people on the live. I think at the max, we had about 33 or so. But we had 7 people that were concurrently. But we'll ask you to jump in. Because you know what they say. Good things usually run out fast. So as we go through the live stream, it might be difficult a month, 2, 3 months from now to have a one-on-one conversation with me, to share your story, to talk about your issues. Okay, so while you have the time, I would advise you to join us in the live stream next week for that. Okay, we have quite a couple of other people who want to join, who want to come on video, but I think we probably should focus a bit on, so that we can have, at least we can leave whoever is watching this with an action plan. Okay, so if you're a woman and you're watching this, my goal is to leave you with an action plan, something that you can deploy. So today's show was inspired by a live session that we hosted at the university. Yeah, that was 4 days before Valentine's Day. We hosted our show live on stage with SPGN at the University of Lagos, and we discussed the dating crisis. Okay, the video will be up. If you follow the channel, the video will be up this week. Okay, and on that particular video, there was the general consensus that when women reach the age of 28 to 30, they start to panic about getting a partner, getting married. And so that's why we're having this conversation. Okay, so that, because sometimes it's not just enough to go by vibes, there are specific things you should be on the lookout for. So we'll run through it again for those people who joined us late. So quick summary: most men will not consider getting married, all right, until they reach what is called the age of commitment. For high school graduates, it's usually around the age of 23. For university graduates, it's usually around the age of 28. For people who go on to have postgraduate degrees, who have PhDs or masters and PhDs, it's usually between the age of 30 to 36. So if you have a man who is running his master's program, who's about to go for masters, and you meet him and he tells you that he wants to date you, chances are that he's not going to start dating until he completes his master program and he has been working for a while. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Okay. The second thing is, most men will not contemplate marriage until they've been working for quite some time. On this particular call, we had 2 people join. Bimi joined from the UK. We also had Femi joining from Nigeria. And on the particular call, you could hear in their voice that they were not in that space where they could commit to anybody for marriage. They could date, but they were not in that space in which they could say, okay, the next 1 year, we're getting married. So most men would have to work for 2-3 years post-graduation before they are in that space to consider it. So men will not get married until they are uncomfortable with the single sin. What do we mean by that? There's a particular age that men will get to, that when they go into maybe a club or a bar, they look around and they start feeling that they are too old. Maybe they start looking, I'm too old. The people here are much younger singles. So most men will not. Okay? Men also have the biological clock. At some point, particularly those who want to be fathers, to sons, they start calculating how old they will be when their son is born. So everybody has it's the biological clock is more psychological. Okay. Now, there are some things that you should note as warning signs. If you're dating a guy and the guy sees like marriage as a financial arrangement in which that benefits primarily women, chances are that guy is not incentivized to get married. If a guy comes from a family where maybe his father and mother are divorced, and the mother was the one who filed for divorce, and if it was messy, there may be a bit of issues, particularly if the divorce happens when the parents are young, when he is young, because children at a very young age are not psychologically, they cannot process the splitting up of their family. If you meet men who are not working, all right, and who still live with their parents, chances are that such men will not be in that space of mind, okay, to get married. That means the person is 2 things: he's not working and he's still living with his parents. Okay, most men will tend to go out with ladies, and all sorts of ladies, but they'll tend to marry ladies whose socioeconomic status or their religion or their tribe align. Okay, 80% of people tend to marry within their social circle. Okay, so just keep that at the back of their mind. So for women, a couple of things are important, and we mentioned that on the show. Men are attracted to physical looks Okay, but they are locked in by character. And so if you dress trashy, there's this trashy old look. People say that if you are going to show your cleavage, for instance, you should be wearing a long skirt. Okay, if you're going to wear a short skirt, the top shows. If you're wearing a top in which is showing cleavage and then short skirt and all that, for most men, they see women as this woman is in the fun category. They'll have fun with the woman, they'll go out on dates with the woman, they'll enjoy themselves, but most of the time they won't commit. Almost every man wants to marry a woman who is pretty and who is like a trophy wife. Okay, so when you dress appropriately and you accentuate your looks, it helps. Okay. All right, so that's in Africa, you want to make a good impression on the family. If you're dating someone and you get to meet the family members, the mothers in particular, okay, making a good impression with your future to be mother-in-law is a positive, because a lot of men that we've spoken to, they will tell you that it's their mothers that told them that you must marry that girl, you must not let that girl go. Okay, so family members, particularly in African settings, they still have a major pull on the decision making of their sons. Okay, so and then we'll just run through a couple of 12 things. These are just 12 things for you to be on the lookout for. Just 12 steps to take, 12 things to keep in mind, all right, about the kind of women who get married. I will type it in as we talk about it. Okay, so the first thing to keep at the back of your mind is that large number of female friends. Okay, why does this matter? You'll be wondering what exactly is large number of female friends. From our survey, and we've been hosting this show in our physical studio for the past 2 years, and from our survey of people who have come in, who have gotten married, from our survey of people who are dating, all right, women who have a large amount of female friends tend to. I understand that there's some of you who are watching this that you would say things that, well, I'm a girl, most of my friends are male, I don't like women, because we've heard all sorts of things. Some people will say women are bitchy, women are not loyal to their friends. We've heard your excuses in the show. But women who have lots of female friends tend to get married compared to women who have lots of male friends. And there's a reason for that. Female friends, particularly when you are younger, tend to introduce women to guys than male friends. And the reason why is because a lot of your male friends may secretly want to sleep with you. And so most male friends do not introduce their female friends to other men. Okay, so that's one thing to keep at the back of your mind. Secondly, if you reach the age of 30 and you want to be married, you have to make it a priority. Okay? And there's a reason for that, because you are competing with much younger women. Okay? So, and I say this is a bit difficult it's a bitter pill to swallow. Okay? So, I'm talking to any woman. Any woman who ends up watching this, if you're watching this right now, you're watching this after the show, after you're done with the show. If you reach the age of 30 and you want to get married, you have to make it a priority. Okay? Because once your friend starts getting married, they don't have time to start introducing you to people. I know you say there are dating apps and all that. A lot more people get married as a result of, a lot of people meet their spouses as a result of introductions from maybe a classmate, a colleague, a friend, their parents, than online, particularly in the African setting. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Most women who work in high-powered careers, perhaps you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you work in politics, you hold a political office and all that, you have to make getting married a priority, because some of those careers, they tend to not scare men off, but tend to put men in the face in which they don't want to get into competition with you over that provider male role rather. Okay, the larger the number of single people you work with, the higher your chances. Okay, if you and this goes out to people who work in the banks. There was a particular bank. I won't mention the bank in a West African country, that a lot of people who work in that bank, they didn't get married. It's a first generation bank. And the reason why is because they spend a lot of time at work, and they spend a lot of time traditionally with people who had families or who are married, and so the young people once they get into the bank. So you may also want to take a look at that. If you're in an industry in which there are lots of married people there, a lot of times they won't have the relation. Most of their friends also will be married, and they probably will not do introductions. Okay, so if you're of kind of an industry in which the kind of men do not like women, okay, they are industry like the fashion industry. I don't want to go in details about that. Also, that may be a barrier. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Then also, women who have unrealistic expectations. Okay, and sometimes these expectations they're not your own expectations. Sometimes they're expectations that come from your family members. I can't count the number of times in which, perhaps in a church setting or in a professional setting, I have heard people tell women that a particular guy is not good enough for her. Okay, as a doctor, I've heard female doctors who wanted to date people who are not in non-medical field, told by their female doctor friends that those guys are not good enough for you. Okay, sometimes, particularly when you reach a point, you may have to realize that your expectations, not everybody really gets their specification that they set for a partner. Okay, you may have to work with what is available. Okay, if you're dating someone and it's not going anywhere, exit the relationship, particularly the closer you are to 30. Okay, because time is precious, time is valuable, and once you spend your time in a relationship that goes nowhere, you don't get it back. So I think we will stop here. All right, I'll just add one more thing, and this is it. Go out on Friday, go out on Saturdays, go out to places where single men go out to viewing centers, go out to cinemas alone. Some people say it is sad. Go out, take yourself out to the beach, spend time. Realize that once you graduate from school, if you want to meet people, physically meet people, you have to make it a priority. You have to make it a job. So that's where we'll stop here. It was nice having you guys around. Okay, so we'll just wrap up. A couple of things. If you want to follow the channel, at Dark Post Show across all the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. All right, and then if you have anything that you need advice with, just send us an email, advice@darkpod.com. Okay, I'm your friend. I'm here to host you. Okay. And for the next few weeks, I will be hosting you once a week. Tuesdays, 5 p.m. West African time. We'll post the link. Okay, so that's what we'll do. All right. I will say this. Next week, we will be talking about the stages in a relationship. And we have about 9 stages. I'll quickly run through them. The stage living up to expectations, getting to know the person, the needs and lifestyle stage, the steady dating stage, the romancing the woman stage, getting comfortable, committed couplehood, premarital couplehood. We didn't say premarital sex, we said premarital couplehood. And finally, the proposal stage. So there are a couple of things that we'll unpack next week about the 9 stages so that you can benchmark. If you are with someone, you can assess what stage you are in. All right, so thank you very much for joining this. I want to thank every member of our team for the guests that joined the live. Bimi, Femi, it was great having you on. Everybody that commented in the chat, Raphael, Dravin, AY, Anolo, Akpo, Peter, and everybody who commented. It was great having you on. Thanks to members of my team. My co-host that held the show down for an hour before I came on, Osato. A round of applause for yourself. Comfort for your engagements on social media. Ozioma, Anoluapo, Peter, Adam, Lawal, Shitsu, for the fantastic edits and for being a great team to work with. You guys make this process easy. So thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you next week. And enjoy the song. So if you're wondering what the song is that theme song. It's titled Let's Talk About It. I'll just play it out so that I can end the show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. frowning for is my ear. Brother, let's talk about it. Oh, brother, let's talk about it. What's eating you up? Or you got some baby mama issues you're dealing with? Brother, let's talk about it. You're 2 year old in hidden shoes, and you don't know where your next meal's coming from. Brother, let's talk about it.
Okay, so I have to re-emphasize this. We're done with the show. But if you will be joining us,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about you. Brother, let's talk about it. 'Cause we all need a shoulder to lean on in adversity. Here's mine. Come on, brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about it. Brother, let's talk about it. I know sometimes life can get fuzzy and the future's so blurry. You can talk about it. Sometimes all you need is some listening ears, someone to brag on to. Here I am.
all right.
Let's
So
talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about. Let's talk about all the things you really want to rap about. Ooh, brother, let's talk about it.
if you're joining us next week, we'll be having a raffle draw. There's 10 grand,
Let's talk about it.
10,000 naira,
Let's talk about
or $5 to $10 for grabs for the most engaging person who joins on the live. I'll be running that. There'll be a live stream. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that on all our lives the next 3 months. So that's just something to encourage and to help people be African. Okay, so from next week, for next week's show, there'll be 10,000 naira up for grabs for people who come on the show, the most engaging personalities that come on the show. We will also be giving that, we'll be transferring that out to people from all across the world. I know several of you don't need it, definitely, but it's just something to appreciate those who have been on this journey with us. Okay, so just keep it in mind. We'll see you next week, 5 p.m. same time. And if we have enough engagements, we probably may see you. We talk to you every week. We talk to you every day. All right, so enjoy the song.
What you frowning for is my ear. Brother, let's talk.
What's your thoughts generally about the show?
What's eating you up? Or you got some baby mama issues you're dealing with? Brother, let's talk about it. 2 year old in hidden shoes, and you don't know where your next meal's coming from. Brother, let's talk about it. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about. Brother, let's talk about